Okay, you want to insult me, asshole? Cattle ranchers face prison over legacy fence line in dispute. Family calls for Trump admin to step in. Randy and Tom Hamilton are asking the Trump administration to intervene in the criminal case of their daughter, South Dakota cattle rancher and mother of two, Heather Maud, and along with her husband, Charles, faced a decade in prison over a fence dispute with the Forest Service. That's basically what it's all about, just by the reading the first paragraph. I know Trump and his team have a lot going on, Randy says, but the government is on steroids and make people's lives miserable, socially, financially, emotionally, in every regard. It's beyond my comprehension that anyone would do this. Very naive. As previously reported, Heather and Charles were indicted in June 24 over a dispute regarding the placement of a fence they inherited, built sometime between 10 and 50. That marks the boundary between their legacy ranch and whatever that is, land. The fence line has been acknowledged as the official property boundary by the USDA every single year since the start of the National Grasslands Program in 1960, 414 years. The Maud family has farmed and irrigated the land with no objection from the Forest Service. Through several generations, their permits have been renewed and transferred. That all changed last June. Yeah, so it's this whole thing is just what do you call it? It's an expression of just disappointment from the Trump administration. That's what this is, what, the third paragraph? Yeah. Now Charles and Heather face 10 years in prison and $250,000 in fines for theft in government property. Both are under a gag order, unable to speak under their case and with media. Their trial set for April 29th. Why does that not surprise me? What's the latest? People with tattoos are being sent to fucking a hardcore prison? Something to do with Venezuela? Yeah, things are a little bit nuts over there in that country. And I refuse to call it America because Donald has destroyed America. Because he's violated the Constitution to death. Anyway, Randy and Tom traveled from their home in Wyoming to look after their two grandkids during the couple's recent hearing. My little granddaughter is 7, she said. Grandma, what's going to happen to us if Mom and Dad are going to jail today? It broke my heart. The local South Dakota ranching community is terrified, naturally. Neighbors say that they have been targeted by the Forest Service too. Heather and Charles are being made an example of, Randy says. If they lose this deal, it's going to affect everyone. You never think it's going to happen but it is. Everybody's going to be fucked within time and over there because of Donald. And yeah, well, that's usually how it works. They only care when it does happen to them. Otherwise, they just, whatever. Life goes on. Facing 10 years in prison over a fence dispute. Yeah. That's just what Donald is. He's petty. The ranch family's ordeal started on March 29th, 24, when a hunter allegedly complained about a no hunting sign on the face post. USFS requested the Mauds to take the sign down, which they did. They're busy trying to make a living, Randy says. The fence was put there before they were born. Donald doesn't care about that. MAGA doesn't care about that. Those are facts. MAGA does not like facts. They don't care about facts. Only ones that convenience them. Only ones that they can use in their favor to, assist their narrative. Anyway, to her knowledge, this mysterious hunter has never been identified. I don't believe any hunter or would have accidentally discovered an issue with that fence. And by the way, yeah, this whole thing is about a fence. As I said in my reply, asshole, brokemedic. Tom says, He claims that on X, a navigational app hunters use to determine property limit. Do people have nothing better to do than go hunting in America? Or sorry, the United States? I mean, what the fuck? Get a life. Did not even have the line correctly marked at the time. I think he was someone who knew that service land than a hunter. The couple then met with the district ranger, Julie Wheeler. Forest Service Special Agent Travis Lunders was also present. The mods sought a solution, suggesting a special use permit or a land exchange after the Small Tracts Act. They were told the Forest Service would first need to survey the land to determine property lines. The mods agreed. They were told this would occur at some point in the next year. Instead, Lunders and a survey team arrived at the model ranch 5 days later. Lunders surveyed the fence in dispute without not the best at reading, I'll admit. Lunders surveyed the fence in dispute without permission, Randy says. Without permission, Randy says. Lunders then crossed the rectangular piece of private property the mods own in the middle of the USFS land to also determine their fence on the opposite side. The mods have a pivot irrigation system, a machine that waters an area in a circular pattern. While there is no dispute that all permanent components of the pivot are on private ground, Lunders allegedly decided that the wheel would Lunders allegedly decided the wheel what is this? Lunders allegedly decided the wheel and end the pivot. I don't know what the hell that means, but at the far end of the line may cross into USFS land. How did this happen so fast? Randy says. Who gave the okay? This was so extreme. Just 87 days passed between the mystery hunter's alleged complaint and federal indictments for the young couple. Just like the original complaint by the unnamed hunter, the survey has also been withheld. There's a human side to this, Randy says. Heather volunteers with the local farmers market. Charles is the local volunteer fire chief and first responder. He has worked with the Forest Service on fires. He goes above and beyond in volunteering and serving his community. He has never gotten so much as a speeding ticket. They both do so much. Well, we're talking about Donald's administration here. What do you expect? Their case has sparked national outrage. Political leaders and well, there's obviously something going on behind the scenes here. If these guys are being fucked like this, then something else is, going on. Donald has another whatever the fuck is even going. Well, I don't know. Political leaders and ranching groups have spoken out in defense of the couple, including Senator Mike Rounds and Congresswoman Harriet Hageman. However that's pronounced. I've never been good with family names. Randy has reached out to both the Biden and Trump administrations, so far with no success. She was told former Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack never received her letters. Politics doesn't care. Well, I don't know. I'm not a fan of either Biden or Trump, so I can't really say. Fencing in rough country is an inexact science in the vast and rugged rangeland of backcountry South Dakota, where the mods have grazed cattle before the Forest Service existed. Fence lines constructed prior to modern tools and technology are at times crude in tracing boundaries across thousands of acres of imperfect mountainous terrain. At the spot in dispute, the mod's fence was suspended over Cheyenne river breaks. Yeah. Can I stop now, asshole? Okay, so I said MAGA doesn't give a shit. Besides, you really think they can read this much? You sure as fuck can't. You don't understand what it's about. Even if I don't, why not explain it to me instead of insulting me? I mean, what the fuck is your problem? Even if you're right. I assume you're not MAGA, so that means you're a different type of asshole. Anyway. A poor excuse for being too fucking retarded to understand. That's okay, city boy. Real men understand it. So real men insult and name call? Really? You're a real man? If that's the case, then I think I'll fucking pass. I'm not gonna be anything like you dumb motherfucker. You arrogant little asshole. Anyway, so that's about all there is to it. Well, probably should have kept reading, but, well, I don't know. It's pointless. America is no longer, and the United States is just fucked.